Share new innovations with us.
Learn innovation. Enjoy knowledge. Know new trends.
Welcome everyone to PSU Hajaitu Global Business. สวัสดีค่ะ My name is อาจารย์นานะ
My name is Ajahn Arno.
สวัสดีครับ My name is อาจารย์เกมครับ
And yes, I am Bam Kunlagan Mewes.
This is gonna be our special guest ค่ะอาจารย์บาม
Hello.
Anyway, we will have a full introductions about Ajahn Bam and also having a dialogue about SME series with Ajahn Game again at our part 3 นะคะ So before we start, as usual, we have to know what's happening with our faculty from the past month นะคะ Let's start with, actually we have so many events, so I'm just gonna wrap up with several important events that we should proud of นะคะ First thing first, something to do with the achievement of our faculty member. At this time is our supporting staff, which is talking about the Scholar proficiency level นะคะ We have พี่เป้นนะคะพี่เป้นคุณทิพวรรณปิ่นทองพันธ์นะคะรักษาการหัวหน้างานเทคโนโลยีและนวัตกรรมการจัดการเรียนรู้นะคะ She actually received a position that higher right now called as a proficiency level นักวิชาการอุดมศึกษาระดับชำนาญการ Congratulations to พี่เป้นของเราค่ะ Very proud of her. She made it this year, and we are so concerned as well about all the support staff because they must have the improvement and their competence to support our students due to AUN, not due to AUNQA. Also, really concerns about every supporting services for the student. Not only academic staff have to improve ourselves, but also support staff too. นะคะ So Big Bang is a good example of all of the supporting staff ค่ะ Okay, let's move to another news นะคะ The news, this one is talking about something to do with the สานใจอันนี้กิจกรรมเนาะสานใจ because our semester just started, everyone. Our episode now fall into earlier semester now นะคะ So we actually so thrilled when we opened the gate for welcoming back the student to the campus ใช่ไหมคะ everybody? We are also concerned about the, how the COVID caused the big changes to our life, to our students, to our lecturers นะคะ We have a lot of the adaptations นะคะ but our activities never stop because our faculty นะคะ have the measurement, a good measurement and very well systematic way to protect our student in each of the activities. So we are convinced and very confident every activities that we organize, we want to make sure that we protect our student and ourselves too นะคะ So กิจกรรมสานใจเนาะ we also still continue on, although it's on site, we also have online. So as you can see that we have like a hybrid event going on, like more and more, also including one white crew that just happened นะคะ We also have that on site. We have number of students very freshy that everyone faces like so fresh to see each other, so excited to see each other นะคะ And in one white crew we also have a competition flower pan. Oh, ชื่นใจมาก very fresh for us as well when we see an actual flower pan, no? Because we didn't see for like a year. I think we skipped 1 year for one white crew, no? And this year we see ชื่นใจจริงๆ and very beautiful because everybody put so much effort and the competition is really hard for the judges to make the decision as well นะคะ we also have many other events as well now for the student, both on site and on campus. But nonetheless, we also have another event called marathon นะคะ But this time is only half marathon because of course due to the situation, the limited yeah, the restriction as well. So we actually have only half marathon. Marathon always organized with our FMS alumni, เนาะ ใจดีมากเลย that they actually organize this event to generate the income and support our current student. That's the main goal ค่ะ so we have to really thankful for our alumni association นะคะ and also for today, this is probably I can share for the last news. We also have the MOU signing ceremony. Maybe Ajahn Kim can share to us a little bit about it.
Oh, yes. Just this morning for this event that we have a ceremony for MOU between our faculty and Bangkok Hat Yai Hospital from the BDMS network. Okay, this MOU is about will or work integrated learning and all other academic activities. So most of the academic activities that gonna occur in FMS from now on, we can invite and do some collaboration with the real practitioner from the Bangkok hospital. The administrative team agreed to send their staff to join our class, or if they want to finding some information about the research, so they can join the research class and to be a very good case for our student too. And moreover, we can say that this collaboration can lead to a very, how can I say, positive development for our faculty too, because the benefit not just only for students, it's for our staff, for example, our lecturer too. So if we want to do some integrated job with the Bangkok Hat Yai Hospital, so we can offer our proposal and to get them to join our project. Okay, so I think that it's gonna be a very good opportunities for both our staff and our students too.
Post it up on our Facebook. So please follow our Facebook fan page at Faculty of Management Science if you want to read more news and follow our movements, นะคะ what we have done for students and for our all stakeholders actually, นะคะ feel free to click like on our Facebook as well. And we not only have Facebook ค่ะ we have a website www.fms.psu.ac.th and also we have LinkedIn. อาจารย์ Arno, right? อาจารย์ Arno taking care of LinkedIn at the moment. We want to make sure we reach the international stakeholders too. So even now, some of the students already start having their own LinkedIn profile. So this is what we try to encourage our students to engage themselves and have their CV online with LinkedIn. นะคะ All right, that would be about it for the first part, talking about happening with our Faculty of Management Science. Next will be vocabularies with Ajahn Arno ค่ะ
Vocabulary list.
Yeah. All right. So welcome back to part 2 of the program. As per usual, we'll be going through vocabularies and phrases, and this time they will be related to entrepreneurial spirit, which is our main topic for today's session. So as with previous sessions, I will be going through the words, their definitions, and then I'll have the other lecturers in our session give us their opinion and also their understanding of those words. So let's get into the first word. First word we have today is motivation. Motivation, the willingness to achieve something or something that causes such willingness. So Ajahn Nana, when you hear the word motivation, what comes to mind?
Motivation is a really strong word for many people, นะคะ Okay, I think the benefits of motivations, especially at workplace, is to increase the productivity. You have motivation, you have productivity. You foster innovations and also create satisfaction for the employees as well. So keep your staff motivated at all times would be the best thing ever for the leader to do.
How do we do that? How do we keep them motivated?
Okay, Ajahn Kim, can you please tell us how do we do that?
It's a very tough question. In order to motivate people, in my opinion, no, we need to use like a XY theory, right, Ajahn Bam?
Yeah, it's actually
yeah.
yeah.
So, but I'm not sure now if I'm explain incorrectly. So you can correct my explanation because for XY theory, they gonna believe that people gonna be negative or the positive style, right? So in order to motivate people, we can choose in both ways too. To motivate by push them to do something more with the positive rewards or positive incentive, or in the other ways, if we assume that our people quite lazy, that quite negative, okay, so we're gonna do some punishment them in order to encourage them to do the job. So it depends on what kinds of organization style that you are, so you can choose. But nowadays, my belief, I believe that most of people want to work and have a good work too. However, it depends on how boss supervise them. I'm not sure that I explained it correctly, Ajahn Bam.
Yeah. I think you mean using the positive reinforcement, right? When the leaders become positive, definitely it's sending some message to the employees, with I mean directly and indirectly. Because when they're coming to work, it's not only they come with only their body, right? They need to come with their body, mind, and soul. So they need to be ready to start working. Yeah. So using the maybe positive reinforcement is somehow it's working, and I believe so too. Since I have 2 kids, I use the positive reinforcement all the time, and and it's working, and I get to listen to them. The things I get to listen to them, and I get to know, how they actually want. So if I listen, and then I know what they want, then I use the reaction back as a positive, and whatever I actually want from them, they do for me. So those kind of things it's about psychology a little bit. But it's good. It's good.
Yeah, and for motivation, when we talk about motivation, we think of one guy that's very popular. What the name of those guys that get into your mind for now, if we talk about motivation?
You mean the person that can motivate us?
Yeah,
or the popular persons,
the theorist, the professor, the very popular one, and every student in business need to learn his theory. Start with A. Abraham Maslow.
Okay, Maslow.
Yeah, hierarchy of needs by Maslow. That every student need to learn about the hierarchy of needs. That is a very fundamental or basic knowledge for every motivation theory.
So yeah, all right, let's move on to the second word, leadership. The ability to motivate and influence individuals and groups to accomplish important goals. So Ajahn Game, when you think of the word leadership, what comes to mind?
Oh, when talk about leadership, the thing that come into my mind is how can I say, the follower, they can work or they cannot work depends on the leaders and depends on the leadership of the leader. Okay, so we can see that most of SME for now, they cannot further their business because of the leadership style that quite weird and make their employee how can they say, if you use incorrect word, you can correct it. They betray the organization, like they're gonna quit or they prefer to find another job or the new job. So those organizations cannot continue their business. So the leadership is very important for all businessmen, that you need to show that you ready to lead your team member to the success and achieve the business goal.
100%. That's a great answer. Thank you very much. Again. All right, next word. What do we have? Next word we have influence. Influence enables or allows a person to affect the actions of others. So Pibam, when you hear the word influence, what do you think of?
I think actually it's linked to the leadership a little bit, because I believe that well, most of the leaders, they would be able to influence other people as well. And by influence other people, I think there are for me, there are two skills that it needs to be with the leaders to be able to influence others. The first one, they need to be able to listen. Okay, when they listen enough, and definitely everything will solve, once they listen. And another thing is consequence. I think the word consequence is really, go into all the influence as well, because being consequence means that you give everyone equal, you treat everyone equal. Okay, and by doing that, it could, once you feel like you are giving the fairness, you've been influenced, by those, automatically, so I think it's mixing, it's really relating to each other by, for
so
me,
very much related to being a successful entrepreneur, right? All right, so next one we have self-development, very strong word, self-development. The process in which a person grows or changes and becomes more advanced through their own efforts. So Janana, self-development, this is something that you're quite familiar with, correct?
Yeah, I'm very familiar with. Because I probably refer to what that game brought up about the Maslow hierarchy just now, because when he mentioned about the Maslow, I'm thinking of the top of the pyramid is self-actualization needs. So that's the part that everybody have to work towards it if it's possible. That will be the point where the Maslow actually point out about how the humans having the layers of the needs, starting from the bottom of physical, this kind of thing. So when it comes to about the self-development myself, I always think that what's my goal, what's my objective, what I want, so what's my self-actualization, then I have to develop myself according to that. I have to go according to my goal, my actualization.
It's also worth noticing that human beings, we should always try and develop ourselves, because once you stop trying, then you're gonna end up stagnating, getting stuck in one position your whole life, and then you end up being quite unhappy because of that. All right, next and the final word that we have today is creativity. Creativity, the ability to produce original and unusual ideas, or to make something new or imaginative. So Game, creativity, this is something that you apply pretty much to your job every day, isn't it?
Yeah, as a director of Global Affairs and Corporate Communication Center for PSU, we need a person or a staff who have a creativity and who have a creative mind, and in marketing too, because as I said, I think I can refer to my previous statement that we're talking about, if we want to make differentiation among the players or among other companies in the business, so we need to think creatively, right? Actually, creative, it doesn't mean just only like you think about the weird thing or the strange thing, but something that quite normal, but usually the gaps in the people life that we can solve the people problems. So I think that those can be creativity too. And in every business sector, in every company, we need to have a creativity. So a very popular course in marketing and in general management for now, we quite prefer our staff or our students to learn about creative thinking, right? How to think creatively, right? So that's gonna be a very important nowadays.
All right, good. Some really good discussions so far today. And that is it for our session. I think we covered all of the words. The 5 words that we looked at was motivation, leadership, influence, self-development, and creativity. Thank you very much for to all the Ajans in the session for contributing as well as you did. And that is it for the English vocab and phrases section.
Vocabulary list.
สวัสดีครับ everyone and welcome back to Biz Talk with อาจารย์เกมนะครับ Today we have a special very special guest again นะครับ She is the big coach okay again the big coach from the OSMEP or the Office of SME Promotion of Thailand that already work as a coach for SME more than 5 years นะครับ and this is still in the same series ครับ the SME series. Today we introduce you with อาจารย์บามครับ I guess the first thing that we need อาจารย์บาม to introduce yourself first in detail ครับ
Okay ค่ะ well my name is Kunlagan Mewes and actually Mewes it's German okay so yeah I have a German husband yeah so with detail, a little bit detail, I'm actually teaching basically in human resource management and also teaching a little bit about psychology and also entrepreneurial spirit, which is what I'm actually sharing with you today. It's all linked about, So, I have 2 kids. That's it.
Okay. 2 very cute kids. Okay, very cute kids. Okay.
Yeah.
So Ajahn Bam, the first question is from your coaching experience. What is the key success factor for SME in your opinion?
Well, yeah. Okay. I believe that there are so many key factors that could help SME to reach their goals and become the star as they reach. Well, besides strategic planning, yeah, they would have a good planning. Management capacity, innovation, networking, financing. But one key success factors that I am interested in this, and I find it very interesting, and I would like to share with you today. Since actually my background is in human resource, okay, the theme of mindset of people is somehow very important. So the key word today that I want to share with you is entrepreneurial spirit.
Is a ghost?
Yeah.
Is a ghost is spirit? Is a ghost?
Yeah,
so
that's
we
what
need to die first, and to be the
Yeah.
ghost, be the spirit. Is it?
Yeah,
No.
that's right. You see how
Okay,
creative
so
he
sorry
is.
that interrupt you. Okay, so
Anyway.
okay, that is a very interesting word. Okay, so what entrepreneurial spirit means? What does it mean?
Before we start sharing about entrepreneurial spirit, okay? Well, since this semester I'm responsible for teaching for BBA program, psychology and entrepreneurial spirit. Okay, since you guys know that BBA already upgrade the program, so now it's called BBA in management and entrepreneurship, right? So definitely all the subjects they put the entrepreneur, everything which is linked to entrepreneurship. Okay, and one of the subjects that I actually responsible for it's psychology and entrepreneurial spirit. Okay, so that is how I kind of get to search more and look through all the knowledge and the stuff which is linked to this. Anyway, when you actually ask about entrepreneurial spirit, we think a little bit about ourselves. Okay, if I ask you guys to think about your own spirit, so can you actually describe yourself into 3 words, which is talk about the human spirit of your own, right? For example, for me, I would say my human spirit would including having a sense of humor. This is what I think, okay, myself. And I think I'm passionate enough to do something, and also creativity.
From our conversation, I think that from the previous conversation, we just try to think of ourselves, but how do we know that those things or those characters is the entrepreneurial spirit? Do they have any measurement or tools that can measure our entrepreneurial spirit, or how do we know that we have it exactly?
It is pretty hard. Since I believe that the entrepreneurial spirit it's not something that we are born with. you know, it's something that we use experience to be the checklist. Okay. So anyway, that is some checklist. It's I mean of the behavior or the feeling or the way that you are acting. There could be some checklists you can actually check.
The characteristics survey that we use for Idea to Entrepreneurship is a good tool to use in order to find whether you actually have the necessary characteristics, the necessary competencies to become an entrepreneur. I 100% believe that not everyone can become entrepreneurs. This is something that it's a specific type of person is actually able to become one. Some people just are really not interested in becoming one. So yeah, no, it's a good point, very good point that you're making, Pibam.
Wow, that's a very good and interesting idea that you share for today, Ajahn Bam. That quite for me, for me, it quite surprised me because I never heard for this word. I need to admit that I never heard this. But this is my first time to hear about the entrepreneurial spirit. And as I just playing as a joke that you no need to die first, you can have the entrepreneurial spirit. okay. And I think that in the conclusion, I think that from our conversation, we believe everyone, at least you have one or two dimensions of entrepreneurial characters, right? Like creativity, or you love to learn, or you passion, or you work hard. That's gonna be entrepreneurial spirit for all. So at least everyone gonna have one or two dimensions of this component, right? Okay, Ajahn Bam, thank you very much for sharing a very interesting information about the entrepreneurial spirit with us today. And I hope that we're gonna invite you again very soon. Okay, and if our audience prefer to meet Ajahn Bam, so you can come to FMS. Okay, and she is next to my door.
We are never.
There's so much more to discuss when it comes to entrepreneurship and entrepreneurial spirit, that this is just the tip of the iceberg. And we look forward to having Pibam back for the next session.
Right. So that's all for Peace Talk with Ajahn Game today, crowd. See you again soon.
All right, thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much, Ajahn Game, Ajahn Arno, and special guest Ajahn Bam. You guys out there hear us and also watching us right now. You are also see that how many coaches from SME that we have. Ajahn Game brought such a great series of the speakers here. We really much appreciated that, and we hope that our next speaker will be such a wonderful one as well next time, right, Ajahn Game?
Yeah, sure.
All right, great. So thank you so much, everyone, and stay safe. Come back with us and tune in with us again. PSU หาดใหญ่ to Global Business ค่ะ ขอบคุณค่ะ สวัสดีค่ะ
Thank you very much. สวัสดีครับ